Steve here again from the Studio One Soapbox, and in today's little video we're going to show two examples, one of using distortion and two of using saturation. If you want to find out more about this, check out the blog post. There's far more details in there. So first up, and using the red light distortion plugin that comes free with Studio One, we're going to tackle using distortion. Distortion can be handy if used correctly, and sometimes used very subtly. In this case, what we have here is a DI'd bass guitar, and what we're finding is when we're playing back through the mix, the bass guitar seems to be buried. So we're going to use distortion and try and bring that forward without using any other processing or plugins. And let's hear this little example. So I think you can hear in that example, as we engage and disengage the red light distortion plugin, that adding distortion certainly does bring the bass guitar forward in the mix. Also, whenever you're using any plugin, always make sure to gain stage. You can fool your ears very quickly by simply applying a plugin. The plugin gives the volume of the track a boost, and automatically it sounds better. As you can see, and the red light distortion plugin, I have got the output really well down, and it is level matched with it being engaged and disengaged. So that's distortion for you, and one application of using distortion is adding it to bass DI tracks and trying to bring them a bit forth in the mix without using any other processing. So now we've taken a look at distortion. We'll move on and we'll take a look at using saturation. Now, a common use of saturation is to have all your drums, as we have here, all go into a drum bus, and on the drum bus we have inserted our virtual tape machine. I'm using Slate Digital virtual tape machine here, but you can use any one that you have at your disposal. There's also free ones out there, so give this a go. So in this case, as I say, a common use of saturation is to use tape saturation on your drums. I'll just play these drums back and I'll engage and disengage the tape machine, and you can hear with your own ears as to what it's doing, and we'll discuss it a bit further after the little bit is being played. Okay, I think you can hear quite clearly that what the tape machine is doing, or what tape would normally do in the analog world, is it tightens up the low end, gives it a nice bump, a nice thump in the low end, and it takes the highs, the treble end, and smooths them over so they're not so harsh on the ear. This is quite a popular technique of adding tape saturation to your drums. So do try and get your hands on any tape plug-in that you can get and give this a whirl. I highly recommend it. So just for a bit more visual awareness of what's actually going on here, I've got a spectrum meter open here, and I'm going to engage and disengage the tape machine as it plays back this little drum track. And if you just watch in the lower end, you'll see that things start heating up whenever the tape is on, which just indicates more or less that you're getting a bit more oomph in the lower section. So without further ado, let's just get this going. So as you can see, we've got a reasonable purple colour. Now let's engage the tape machine. See the little bit of red coming into it now? So as you can see, that's quite slight, but always be sure to level match your plugins, because it is so easy, as I've already said, to fool yourself into thinking that it sounds better just because the plugin that you've slapped on your insert has made it louder. So I hope you find using these two ways of, one, of applying distortion, and two, of using saturation on drums in this case, as how you can add a little enhancements to your mix and make them sound a little bit better. Sometimes even with the bass track, adding that distortion can help to cut through the mix a bit more. So do try out these two things and let me know how you get on in the comments below, and I'll catch you again in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Happy mixing. Thank you.